Hey, TYT Sports RotoWire, I'm Heather Ankeny here with Mankewiecz. Week 1 is always sort of a scary week in fantasy football. But I feel like you just start your studs, don't get too cute, right?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Let me just jump because I literally have a team made up of non-studs. I'm 15 deep or 14 deep.
Not one stud?
I don't really think I have any studs. I'm stud free.
It was an auction, not a draft.
Yeah, it was an auction, not a draft.
You have to have somebody go. Auction, you can come away with, bunch of.
So it's not always like I got super complicated decisions right off the bat. I got my fourth best receiver is T.Y. Hilton, but we were just talking about this behind Floyd, Cruz, and Allen. But you're talking about playing the Broncos, and that game is no, unless there's some weather system moving through there, that ball is going to get put up and points are going to get scored in that game. He's an appealing guy to play. Maybe I play him instead of Allen, who's going up against a tough defense in Arizona.
Yeah, let's just look at the over-unders, right? I mean, we have the over-unders on these, and you look at the Colts game, and that over-under is 55.5, which is, I think, one of the highest over-unders for an opening week in the history of the NFL. 55.5.
The Colts Broncos, 55.5.
So I mean, someone's going to get those touchdowns.
Score. Yeah, exactly.
And the line is 7.5, which means they think it's going to be like 32 to 25, in that range, 30 to 25, 30 to 31 to 24. 24 points projected for the Colts. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, and we all know that if that game is, no one's going to be super surprised if that game goes 41-34.
Right. It can easily go over, and then Arizona San Diego goes 45 total, which is still reasonably high, but not 55.
And I like the under in that game.
And Keenan Allen's going to be guarded by Patrick Peterson. So I would consider starting Hilton. And in fact, the Colts wide receivers as a group are somebody that I would like. If you're in a little deeper league, I think Hakeem Nicks is a play. I think Reggie Wayne, even though I hate Reggie Wayne, is a play in PPR. And I think Hilton's a pretty easy play in most formats. So
Hakeem Nicks is a free agent in our league. I'm sure he's a free agent in a lot of leagues.
I'm sure you can get him, yeah.
So you're saying basically you can safely start any of your Colts wide receivers?
Well, it's never safe with receivers unless they're Des Bryant, and even then. But it's an angle. It's an upside angle that you can take rather than if you have a difficult.
This will be an excellent test of whether the Broncos' sort of revamped secondary is revamped enough.
Yeah, I don't think it's Andrew Luck in week 1. They're going to be revamped enough.
No, I agree. I think points will be scored.
And they lost Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie to the Giants, who was actually good last year.
That's right.
And I find this interesting. Eric Decker for the Jets, wide receiver for the Jets.
Yeah.
They're playing Raiders, right? You like starting him this week?
Yeah, I like him this week. I mean, he's going to get a lot of targets. They just don't really have anybody else. They cut Stephen Hill. That experiment's over. Jeremy Curley's a little short pass guy. That's it. I mean, Eric Decker's their guy. Geno Smith was good down the stretch last year. I don't believe in the Raiders secondary at all. And I think they're going to throw a bit, and Decker's going to get, 10, 12 targets and probably do a decent amount with them.
So, especially in PPR, because I like Altoon in that game. I would start Altoon.
Would you start Geno Smith in like a 2 QB league?
The current Altoon?
The current Altoon, yeah.
I would start Geno Smith if I were in a 2 QB league in a pinch.
But not
I
if
mean,
it's not a 2
take a
QB.
real leap of faith, to start Geno over.
It would be a serious pinch.
Yeah.
I get a guy who I would start this week, and I probably wouldn't start any other week because it's a guy. I make the way I sort of get my draft prep going is quick with the don't draft. And some of the players are good. The guys I've said before, guys who are I just think reach they're too old, or they're too hurt, or they're too bad. Trent Richardson. That I just won't take. And if I turn out to be wrong, so be it. I'll go at it again next year. I didn't draft Chris Carter for 10 straight years for that belief. It can go wrong, but by and large, I think it's helped me. I would never have drafted Frank Gore. I just won't do it. I like Carlos Hyde, but that said, if I had Frank Gore, I'd start him this week.
Right. Yeah. He's healthy. There's nothing yet that's happened.
There's nothing yet.
And Hyde. Could you start Hyde too?
Yes, I'm starting him in a deeper league when I'm in a pinch.
Yeah, it's got to be a deeper league, but yeah. But I just see there's a possibility of 18 catches, 106 yards, and a touchdown, and maybe 2 if you get lucky on Frank Gore this week.
Gore.
Yeah, it could be like 18 carries for 106 yards and a touchdown for Gore, and then like 14 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns for Hyde.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, what do you think about people who drafted Bernard Pierce? They have basically 2 games, right? The first 2 games that Ray Rice is suspended. But this week they're playing Cincinnati, which should be a really tough defense. What do? Are you starting this guy for the 2 games that you drafted him for?
Well, it depends how deep if you know he's gonna. I think he'll get 15 carries, right? And if you get 15 carries in some leagues, hey, that's good enough. Maybe he gets 60 yards, maybe he gets 45 yards, and he catches 3 passes for 15, and maybe he gets a short touchdown, and that's good enough.
That's great.
But it's not a great it hurts the whole gambit of like, oh, I get 2 free games. It hurts it that this first game is really so tough.
Do not draft for me was Ray Rice, Bernard Pierce.
Right.
Don't want any part of it, not interested in it. I'm going to let somebody else deal with that mess. Bernard Pierce is a terrible name for a running back. Bernard is a bad
You and
name
your
for a running back,
names.
and I would not have that on my team. You know what's a good name for a running back? CJ Spiller. Good name.
Yeah.
Oh, do you like
But
Spiller
what's the
this year?
basis for that? I don't understand.
Well, by the way, Fred Jackson, the worst name for a running back, yet somehow Fred Jackson ends up being better. Just like, when a guy's good, CJ Spiller, that guy's good.
Yeah.
Bernard Pierce.
Sounds like a
Bernard
running
Pierce
back.
is a police captain.
Is CJ
Yeah.
Spiller going to be the rushing lead rushing title at the end of the season?
No.